Okay guys, we're going to talk a little bit about adverbs today, and there are certain things that you already know, and that is adverbs describe verbs, and many of them end in ly. These are things that I'm sure you were told in your past study of adverbs. You've also been told that they can describe how, when, or where the action of the verb takes place. But there's also a case where they can sometimes describe other adverbs and adjectives. We're going to look at that. That's going to be new. Here are a couple of the categories. There are how, where, and when that you've already studied. Quickly, backwards, slowly, outside, nearby, there, early, yesterday, already. Those are all how, when, and where adverbs. There's a new category, how much, very is always an adverb in this category. And if you can kind of tuck that information away, that's going to be very helpful. Very. And of course, I have a song. And this is to the tune of Skip to My Lou. Let's see if you can see the words. Here it goes. Adverbs add to a verb. Lots of times they're ly words. They explain how, where, or when. Verbs are lonely without them. Adverbs add to a verb. Lots of times they're ly words. They explain how, where, or when. Verbs are lonely without them. Da, yay, we have a song. Now, there's a really nice trick in this song that I think you might want to see. And it's the words I walked. And if you're struggling to see whether a word is an adverb or not, just see if you can put it with the words I walked. So here's some categories of how, where, and when adverbs. I walked quickly. I walked lazily. I walked backwards. I walked loudly. I walked slowly. I walked outside. I walked inside. I walked nearby. I walked away. I walked there. I walked early. I walked yesterday. I walked late. I walked already. All those work, so they're all adverbs. Now I want you to look at page 148 and 149 in your grammar book. And if you look at 148, there are the notes. I'm sorry, I've got to plug my phone up here, and I'm going to have to turn it a little bit weirdly to get it there. All right. If you look quickly at the notes there, look at the first sentence. Slowly the hot air balloon rose. Well, I could also say the hot air balloon rose slowly. So adverbs that describe verbs can kind of move around in a sentence. Look at the example of the adjective. The day was very windy. If you see very, you're probably going to have an adjective after it. And if you notice, very windy followed the verb was. It's a linking verb. What follows linking verbs? Predicate adjectives. So in that case, very is an adverb describing an adjective, predicate adjective. So it's kind of easy if you take it apart like that. And then it can describe another adverb. We soared extremely high. High tells where we soared, and extremely is an adverb telling how high we soared. So the ly should have been a warning, but high is also a place in the sky, and it tells where we soared. So that's an adverb describing an adverb. We're not going to do a whole lot with those. I just wanted to expose you to that idea that adverbs can describe adjectives and other adverbs. You can read through the rest of that list of words. Sometimes it's kind of a good idea to read through those lists of words as we go through this whole unit of study this week. All right, what I want you to do is for A, I want you to go through and look at the word that is in boldface, and then see if you can find the word that describes that word in boldface. For example, number 1 is given to you. Our hot air balloon ride was very exciting. Well, exciting is not a verb, but it is an adjective. And it's following the linking verb was, and there's very, like I told you to look for. Very is always an adverb, so very is telling how much exciting it was. Look at number 2. We arrived quite early for our ride. All right, we arrived early. Early is an adverb telling when we arrived. Quite is telling how early. So quite is telling how much early. All right. Number 3 is an easy one because you're directly dealing with the verb. The balloon's burner roared loudly. Roared is the verb. Loudly is telling how it roared. Plus, it's an ly word too. And look at number 4. Soon the huge balloon filled with hot air. Filled is the verb. So when did it fill with hot air? Soon. So soon is the adverb. A lot of times if you see an adverb at the beginning of the sentence with a comma after it, that's not really a time we normally would use commas in like DOL. That's kind of a hint that that could be an adverb. And look at number 5. My parents and I were rather nervous. Nervous is an adjective. It follows the linking verb were. Rather is describing how much nervous we are. All right, I want you to pause the video and I want you to try to do 6 through 10 on your own. And I'll come back in a minute and give you the answers. Pause. Okay, number 6. Climbed is a verb and carefully is telling how we climbed. It's right there at the beginning. It's got a comma after it and it ends in an ly. Those were all clues for you. Number 7, welcomed is the verb. Warmly is telling how we were welcomed. Warmly ends in an ly. Number 8, untied is the verb. Quickly is telling how he untied it. Ends in ly. It's right there at the beginning of the sentence with a comma after it. It's telling us there's the adverb. Number 9, the balloon moved extremely smoothly. All right, smoothly is that predicate adjective, or an adjective in this case, not a predicate adjective, but an adjective. Back that up. Smoothly in this case is an adverb telling how the balloon moved. So extremely is telling how smoothly. Smoothly can be an adjective, but in this case it's an adverb. So you've got 2 ly words back to back. So it's an adverb describing an adverb in that case. How much? Extremely, how smoothly. All right, and then number 10, we drifted eastward. Eastward is telling you where we drifted, so that's the adverb. All right, you're going to go on and do B the same way. Number 3 and number 11 are going to be the weird ones, okay? And I ran out of time when I recorded this video the first time, so I've actually already uploaded the answers to page 149 in a separate video. So try to do B, underline the verbs in all the sentences, because then that might lead you to either an adjective after it that could be a predicate adjective, and then you could find the adverb that describes the predicate adjective at the end. Hint, hint, look at number 3 and number 11. The rest of them, you should be okay to look for the verb and find the adverb that describes it. So go through that and then go back to YouTube and look for my video that says grammar, adverbs, something, answers for page 149.